Good evening. Hello, everyone. It is Sunday night, and we are ready to go again for a Sunday Night Live to do a little bit of fun crafting here on a Sunday night, a little place of happy stuff where we don't talk about negative things. We just have fun and escape from all the other rubbish that's going on in the world. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're well. I am not going to do a huge long, I'm just going to move my camera out of the way because it's in my way. I'm not going to do a huge long video tonight. Well, I've been known to say this, but I'm going to try and keep it to an hour tonight. I have had a couple of other sessions where I've tried to keep it short and I've still gone over time. So I'm going to try and keep it to an hour and keep the projects fairly simple, simply for the reason that I've done a lot of videos over the last few days. I did a couple on Friday. I did my normal live because I'm here every Friday night and Sunday night for anyone who's new to this. And then I also did a global video hop on Friday as well, although I recorded that a few days before. And then on Saturday, of course, I did the craft along. That was yesterday. We did the craft along live, and then I recorded 4 additional videos for that as well for the people who are getting those extra tutorials. And then tonight we've got another video. So I'm not videoed out. I don't think I'll ever be because I love making them. But I've decided tonight I'm not gonna go overboard. I'm going to keep it pretty simple tonight. Who was able to make it yesterday? I see. Let's see. I think it was Donna that asked that question a moment ago. Who was able to view the craft along yesterday? So you'll see I still have my somewhat inferior glasses on, only because I still can't find mine. I know I put up a post on my private group. So I have a private group for those girls who are in Australia and want to be part of that group. And it's called Linda's Private Stampin' VIP group or something like that. I think that's it. Linda Dolke's Private Stampin' VIP group. And if you're in Australia, you can be part of that. Okay, and I do the occasional giveaway. I've done a couple of sales in there, a few different things, bits and pieces from time to time that I might not do publicly. And yesterday I posted a thing, I think it was yesterday, that says the fastest way to find something that you've lost is to buy a new one. And isn't that the truth? I know as soon as I buy a new pair of glasses, I'm going to find the old ones. So I do have, I'm hoping to have that problem sorted out in the next little while because it's giving me a headache not having the right prescription. And I can't see quite properly. Everything's a little bit blurry. So my apologies. One of the cards I want to do tonight actually uses 2-step stamping, and that's a bit brave for someone who can't see properly. So yeah, you guys will have to tell me if it's okay because I might not be able to tell. All right. Anyone have anything they want to share? Do you have a great weekend? Do anything fun? I know, Jody, you were busy making cards at Shani's house. I saw those photos. It looked fantastic. Who else was at Shani's? Anybody else's? Shani's in South Australia for anyone who's over that way. And she does beautiful, beautiful work. Hello. Okay, so tonight, Katrina asked me a question. Hi, Katrina, I see you're on. And her question was about rubber stamps versus photopolymer because we have several sets. I think there's 5 sets that are in this new mini catalogue that you can choose whether you want to get them in rubber or photopolymer. Okay, so this is the new mini that came out earlier in January, on the 5th of January. And it goes until the end of April. Okay, so we don't know yet what's going to continue from this catalogue into the next annual catalogue, but by April we will know. So it gives you a bit of an idea. And if you're a demonstrator, that's probably going to change what you might buy, knowing it's only a 4-month catalogue. If you're a customer, knowing that certain items are going to sell out quickly, also probably changes the way you make your purchases. Everything I'm using tonight is available for purchase. If you have any questions about anything, just ask. This is the place to do it. And the whole purpose, there's several purposes. One is to have some fun, but another purpose of my doing these live videos is to use products that are in our current catalogues and show you how you can get the most out of them. So it's what you would call a purposeful post where it's actually got a purpose. It actually is to show you something, and it might help you make a decision. It might say, oh yeah, I really do want that set, or maybe I really don't want that set. It'll help you make those buying decisions, and that's one of the reasons that I do this. And Stampin' Up sells their product not in a retail store. They sell them through demonstrators and through their online catalogues and also physical hard copy catalogues. But demonstrators are the ones who go out there into the world and show all the different things you can do with products. And I have to say, I am inspired every day by what I see other demonstrators do. So Katrina's question was, what is the difference really between photopolymer stamps and rubber stamps? Is one better than the other? And my answer to that would be it depends on what you're doing, and it does come down to personal preference. So, for example, I'm personally much more fond of rubber stamps. Now, there are certain times that I get the photopolymer or acrylic stamps instead. For example, this set, the two-tone flora set, which I'm going to use tonight, this is part of the Fancy Flora bundle that's in the new mini catalogue. Absolutely beautiful. This one only comes in photopolymer. You can see I've been using them. Some of them have already got a bit of a staining going on there, but they're not rubber stamps. They're clear stamps. And the reason that I'm so glad they're like this is a two-step stamp set. Okay, so if it's a two-step stamp set, you're definitely better off having it in acrylic or photopolymer. It's called photopolymer. In the catalogue, if a set is one of the ones, there's only 5, but if there's one of the ones that's the options are rubber or photopolymer, it has both a P for photopolymer and a C for cling. Okay, the cling means it's a rubber stamp. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is it does come down to personal preference, except in a few situations. These ones where you need to line them up, definitely much easier to see where you're going when they're clear, so they're acrylic or what we call photopolymer stamps. They'll be designated with a P if you have a choice. So this one, Fragrant Flowers, that I used on Friday night, this is one of the ones that you can choose whether you want it to be rubber or photopolymer. Okay, now I chose it in the rubber. It is not a two-step stamp set, so I don't need to be able to line it up with other stamps like I would with that two-tone flora one. So having it in rubber, I think is a good choice. The other thing is it's very detailed. Can you see? Oh, let's see. Can you see the fine detail in that? I think you get a better image on fine detail stamps with rubber. I don't think you can beat the image that you get with rubber, but like I said, these days, they are getting better and better with their photopolymer stamps. They're getting more and more clear. Even some distinctive stamps now come in photopolymer. So yeah, it's personal preference. Like I said, I have an affinity with rubber. My mum used to give me rubber stamps to play with when I was a little girl on rainy days. I used to get so excited when it was raining because it meant that I was allowed to go and ask for the rubber stamps to come out. And Mum used to, I used to stamp all over butcher's paper. My mum would save from, literally going to the butcher and bringing home. Not that we had a lot of that because we had a farm, so we used to kill our own meat. But we still managed to get whatever butcher's paper did come into the house was saved for stamping. So I've always had a really good feel to stamping and rubber stamps are still. Mind you, the rubber stamps I had as a little girl were nothing like the quality of these. These are just so much better. And the images I was getting, not that I was trying to be artistic really at the time, because I was just stamping for no particular purpose. I wasn't making cards. I was literally just stamping. So, yeah, it's personal preference. So I'd like to know what you guys, let's see, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer photopolymer stamps, the clear ones, acrylic, or do you prefer rubber stamps? I would love to know the answer to that. So if you want to just quickly type that in the comments, and let's see if there's an overwhelming or majority, or if it's split right down the middle. Oh, thanks, Ellen. Ellen's being very correct, okay, and she's right that our stamps are not acrylic. Photopolymer is different and a better quality. I would agree with that. I think I say acrylic because that's what I relate them to. But you are right, photopolymer is better quality than the acrylic stamps that you might have seen in the past. And thank you for clarifying that, for writing that, because that's true. So what does everyone think? All right, either, says Jody. Yeah, I have a good smattering of both, but I still prefer the rubber. Clear, says Rose. Margaret says same as me. Rubber, says Gina. Rubber, says Anita. Photopolymer, says Susan. So we're getting a bit of a split. Donna says the same as me. Jenny says rubber. Joan says a bit of both. Elizabeth likes both. So yeah, it looks like both types of stamps seem to have their place. Everyone's saying something similar. But I guess I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to my stamps. So is the one better than the other? It depends on what you're going to do. If you need to be able to line it up and see what you're doing, such as in two-step stamping, or when placement is really important, Katrina, I would go with the photopolymer stamps. Okay, but if not, if you're not as worried about the placement, and there's a lot of detail in the stamps, or if your stamps are solid, I prefer to use a solid stamp with photopolymer. Beg your pardon, with rubber. However, having said that, I'm going to do one of the cards I'm thinking of doing tonight, and I think I will. Now that I've started talking about it, I'm going to do this one. One of the cards I'm going to do tonight it uses a solid stamp. And if I'm going to use a solid stamp, whether I use photopolymer or rubber, I'm going to be using my Stamparatus, because I'm going to be able to stamp it and stamp it and stamp it until I get the perfect image. So sometimes when you're using solid stamps, you don't get the coverage that you really want on the first run, and that's why it's good to be able to re-stamp. So I'll show you that when we get to it. But first of all, let's have a little play. I'm going to bring my camera back in here. Let's see how that looks. And switch over. Here we go. All right, let me just straighten that up a little bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. I've still got a bit of a mark on my paper here from yesterday's craft along when I was doing a little bit of sponging there at the end with the blending brushes. All right, so let's have a little look. I'm going to turn on my light, which will give us a much better lighting. That's better, isn't it? My son, I bought a while ago, actually bought a light, like a studio light kit at Aldi. Can you believe it? Keep an eye out on Aldi if ever you're wanting to get things like that, because sometimes they have really good, they have microphones, they have these little studio lights, and I just stuck it on top of my camera stand, so which is actually not a camera, it's just my mobile phone. All right, so let's have a little look. The one I wanted to show you tonight is this gorgeous Fancy Flora Suite. All right, now on the left hand side here we've got some beautiful samples. They do such a good job with their samples, and they've mixed up some of the different products. For example, even they've used products from this suite, but then they've also, in here you can see they've added the frame florets dies, you know, those oval frames. They've added some of those. They've used the dies from this set together with the great big die here from the two-tone Flora dies. So I'll show you all these. These are really, really beautiful. I've got all of this stuff because it was too beautiful not to have. The shimmer paper is absolutely amazing. I think you guys have probably all seen me use the shimmer paper. I don't even know if I've got the gold here, but it comes in gold and soft succulent and fresh freesia. You can see this soft succulent and the fresh freesia, and it's smooth as anything, not like sandpaper. Look, here's a bit of gold. I've got some over here because I was using it just before. So there's the gold. All right, and this is a pack of, I believe it's 6 sheets. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so you get 2 of each color. You get 2 of the green, 2 of the fresh freesia, and 2 of the gold in the pack. And those here in Australia, those are $17.50 for the 6 sheets, but you tend to use it fairly sparingly unless you do what I just did tonight. If just before I started, I decided to cut some of the soft succulent, and I've used this beautiful big die here. How nice does this look? Can you see how gorgeous it is? It's so shiny, so pretty. So we're gonna use that. I haven't even decided what I want to do with it yet, but I decided I'd like to use it because I had plenty of soft succulent left because I've been using lots and lots of gold and lots of freesia. I know it is gorgeous. I've been using those two a lot, which means I've got a lot of the green left over. I'm on my 3rd pack, and this is the first time I've used the green, so I decided to cut some of these, cut a big one of these guys. All right, so there's that. Then there's also, this has the matching stamp set called Two-Tone Flora, and then the matching dies that cut out the different pieces. If you want a closer look at those, turn to the next page, and then it's got the stamp set up close and the dies down the bottom here. Okay. Also shows me with a little white border around each one of these, showing me which of these cut out with the dies. Okay, so it's being, almost all of them do, but of course this is a standalone die, this one. It's really pretty. All right, then we've also got the Something Fancy dies, which is a whole bunch of sentiments, really, really nice sentiment set, and then it has matching labels. I got this before I got this one. I needed these straight away because I'm a sucker for label dies. I think having good labels and sentiments is such an important thing when you're making cards. You want to have them on just about the front of everything. I did have a card. Let me show you. So this is a card I made. I did this one for my launch, for those people who were able to come to my in-person launch, and I've used the gold to cut the larger rectangle here with the rounded corners, and then the white one in the middle for my sentiment. And the thank you comes from this Something Fancy set. Let's just look at it more closely. This is it here. Can you see the white labels? Tells you which ones match up. This would also match with this, so you know you get more than what's just shown there. You'll get some of the others on these pieces as well. Then I actually did I did the leaves, I did the flowers, and I used some of the paper. Now, let's just talk about this gorgeous paper for a second. I've only got part of a pack left because I've been using it like nuts, using it really a lot. This one reminds me of Wisteria, and I love how it sort of seems to fall down over the top of the page. These papers are divine. Yes, they are 6 by 6. They look like they've been each one, you know, beautifully painted with acrylic or oil paints. Probably, I don't know, acrylic or oil, one or the other. Just beautiful. So there's colors, and the colors are listed here, but it's actually not all the colors that are in the pack. The colors that are all the colors that are in the pack are actually listed on the back of the pack itself. Okay, so I'll just read them to you, because here there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6 main colors, but on the back here we've got more. We've got Balmy Blue, Basic Grey, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, Orchid Oasis, Pool Party, Soft Seafoam, Soft Suede, and Soft Succulent. That's a lot of colours, all right? So a lot of colours in this paper, which means it matches up with a lot of things. You can have a lot of fun with it. I think it's rather nice. And you'll see as you go through that these papers are just stunning. I have I've been pulling it apart and using all sorts of bits and pieces. The other thing is, if you want to, you can use the papers behind and, you know, have one of the colors showing through. But I probably, because the paper is, because this die is quite intricate, I wouldn't go with a pattern that is too, like, for example, I wouldn't go with the one that I was talking about a moment ago. This looks very Monet, don't you think? I think so. This one's actually probably a good one, because you get a bit of colour going behind that, and you can see some yellow popping through in it. And it's not really distinct what it is, so that actually works quite well. I don't mind that. I might just pull that out and see if I want to use it in a bit. We'll see. Not really sure. This one also is really nice. Oh. So if I decide to use one of these, it'd be nice to have one of, or I might just put it on some plain paper. I haven't decided yet. Well, that's rather nice. Very soft. Very soft. All right, so let's pull out those couple and we'll see what we want to do with them. But the papers, I can't tell you how stunning they are. I had this one in a class the other day that I was, actually it was when I was making the card that I just showed you. So it's this one. This is more of this paper. And some people chose to use the other side because it was so difficult to make a decision. I mean, that's also beautiful. Look at that with the blue. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, just gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And it's so stunning with all the different colors that you could use it for all kinds of things. So this is a great paper. If you're wondering how many, you get 48 sheets. 48 sheets, and it is 6 by 6 the paper. So it's $21 here in Australia to purchase, and I do love it. Also, this Pool Party ribbon is part of this. Another item that I just happen to really love. I think I have some right here. Here I do. So this is Pool Party Grosgrain ribbon. Can you see it? Try and get it close enough to see. Really pretty. I know. It's beautiful, Donna. You do need to get it. It's just lovely. Thanks, Kayla. Welcome. Welcome to here. All right. And then the one last thing I haven't really talked about yet in this suite is these beautiful iridescent pastel gems. I'm using them on everything. Up until now, my favorite, see, I've just about used all of this one. I have got a whole bunch more packs, but that's okay. Up until these arrived, I was using the iridescent rhinestones on almost everything because they go with so many things. Now I've sort of been using these probably even more than the iridescent rhinestones, and I never thought that was going to happen. They come in Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, and Gold, and they go with so many things. They will go with almost everything that you might want them to. So absolutely stunning. I would recommend if you're looking for some really great embellishments that you look into those because they're beautiful. They're on your desk right now. The papers or the embellishments, Ellen? Which ones? All right, so let's move this out of the way and let's actually get moving. I've got some paper here, bits and pieces, and I'm actually going to be stamping tonight on just some basic white, and I'm going to start now. I would normally, if I was setting this up for a class, I would actually line it up on the Stamparatus and get everyone to just use the Stamparatus because that's super easy. But when we're doing it like this, then I don't think that's necessary. Now, I'm deciding what colours we want to have on this. There's a couple of little pieces that didn't fall out. I should use my die brush, shouldn't I? That's all right. We'll get that sorted out. All right, so looking at the colours that are in the papers and that are in, I'm looking at, you know, greens and yellows and things on this one. So, but I do like some softer colours when it comes to these. So I've got my this is the largest flower right here, and then the matching detail is right next to it just there. So let's go grab that one out as well. Let's pop that. I'm using box C for these, and I might just we'll see how we go. I'm deciding. Petal Pink is a nice light. It's really on its way to apricot, and that would probably work quite well with these. The colors that I used on these ones, this is Petal Pink underneath and Calypso Coral over the top. And you know what? That actually is a really good pairing, and I'm tempted to use it again. Maybe I will. So either that, or maybe we could also go with Orchid Opulence over the top. That would be nice as well. But let's just start with these two and give you a bit of a squiz what these look like. I'm going to pop a, sorry, that was a very Australian thing to say, a bit of a squiz. What country am I from? Sorry, all my American friends, you're going, a bit of a what? All right, so we're going to, I'm using a mat underneath just to help me get a better stamp image. All right, so you can see that I've got my, I'm going to do two. We'll see. We may not use both, but we'll see. So that's my Petal Pink, and then I've got my Calypso Coral, which doesn't look a lot darker if you're looking at the pad, but like the packaging, but it is actually quite a bit darker. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line this up. And because it's photopolymer, I can see where I'm going, okay? Look how beautiful this is. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this stamp set. I just think it's so pretty. Something else, I'm not doing it tonight because like I said, I'm keeping it pretty simple, but something else that looks really good is if you use, you do your lower color and then maybe do an embossed detail over the top, like maybe gold. That looks really stunning as well. So I might, I'll have a card with that going up over the next, probably later in the week on one of my social media channels. All right, so let's go with a smaller one now. I'm thinking maybe this little guy and the detail for that. So let's go with block B. And there we go. So we'll go again with these colors. You do the outline first. Ah, see, everyone does it different. But yeah, that would do it. Oh, you know what? I just went and did that the wrong way around. I stamped in the Calypso Coral instead. That's all right. Yeah, now I've done that, I'm thinking maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go with a lighter colour. I'm going to go with So Saffron, and let's see how that looks. And I'm going to go with the coral again. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Oh, guess what? Here's a cat hair. Whoops. Sorry, that's an occupational hazard in my world. I've got 2 cats in here right now, and they're camped on the floor underneath the craft table. So I'm going with the same colour for the detail because I think that helps with the continuity of just deciding where I want this to go. There we go. That's fine. All right. So now I'll get rid of that. Just close up my other ink pad. And I'm going to grab my little machine. Just realized I might have gone, maybe, let's see, have I gone too far along? No, I think I'm okay. Right, so about 9 centimeters is as wide as you can go through the mini cut and emboss machine. And of course, doing a 2-step set like this one makes me realize that this card is not as quick or simple as what I had maybe indicated I wanted to do. But the second one will be simple. I'm going to do the simple one next. All right, so I've got my there we go, just like that, and I'm going to line that up. And then, so you can see I've got the first page is this one, and then the second page are these. All right, so I'm going to do 2 of those, and I'll do 1 more on the second run. I'll do 2 more on the second run probably. We'll see. So let's wind that through. Now, if anyone is wondering why on earth I have a blue one of these, this is actually the current joining special this month and next month. So it finishes. This is a limited edition item, and it's only available until the end of February. And if you would like one of these, the only way to get one is to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator. So that's just how that is. And I'm sorry if you're thinking, oh, but I wanted to buy it. You can't. Demonstrators like myself were able to buy it back in December, but everybody else gets it when they join. And you can join right now. Normally it costs $169 to join. You can still join for $169. But let me go. Where's this one? I think it goes right there. There it goes. But right now, if you spend $169, they're going to give you $315 worth of product. Now, this is Australian prices I'm quoting. If you're elsewhere, speak to your demonstrator and find out how much it is in your market, because it's an insanely good deal. Okay, this is the kind of thing that doesn't happen very often. It's fantastic, actually. All right. So I want to keep, because I'm using this beautiful big die, I want to keep this, what I'm doing on top of that, fairly simple. All right. So I'm deciding I can put and I think I will. I'm still making up my mind. Now, before this started, I cut 2 Oh, here's one. Found it. Sorry. I cut 2 card bases and I'm thinking, what did I just do with those? Because I knew I cut them. So this is just my half a sheet of A4 cut in half. Now, this piece is actually made to fit US sizing, okay? Don't let that worry you. What I'm going to be doing is making this fit. And it is exactly the right width to go across, all right? Now, one way of doing this would be to put an adhesive sheet on before I start and roll that through, cut the adhesive sheet at the same time, and then I would have a sticky base. I'm deciding, do I want another color behind this or do I want to have... All right, I'm considering... Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make this the same size as my card front. So in Australia here, it's 14.8 centimeters by 10.5. That's our full size of the card front. So now if I put this on here, it should go on exactly, and it does. But I'm going to be cutting it down a little bit because this is slightly shorter, because this fits American US letter cardstock, which means it is a shorter 5 1/4, I think. Let me tell you exactly what that is. No, 5 1/2. So this is 5 1/2 long, okay, which is a little bit shorter than 14.8. So I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm actually going to put this on. I've got some. I'm going to go with more of the greens. Mind you, you could go with any of these papers. They all match. Let's pop this on. I haven't been looking. I'm so sorry. I haven't been looking at the comments for a bit because I've been engrossed in what I'm doing. That's what happens. So I'm so sorry if I've missed any questions or anything like that. I'm just looking here. So I'm surprised that the cats haven't actually asked for dinner yet, but I am sure that they will. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stick this on first. So a number of ways we can do this. We can get our Tombow and just start putting it on the bigger. This is a newer one, but I think I didn't quite. Come on. How'd you come? That's interesting. It does not want to come out because I'm live on a video and it's shy. This one doesn't have as much in it, but it's probably going to work better. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a brand new one. Actually, this one is opened. Look at that. Beautiful. Right. So because I want to put quite a bit on, all right, the other thing to do, there's a couple of other options that will work really well for you. One is to get yourself a silicone mat. All right. Love myself a silicone mat. Pop this on. That way you won't end up with sticky bits on your desktop. And then we're going to actually put some glue directly onto the silicone mat. Okay, then I'm going to grab a little bit of sponge and I am going to zip over the back of this. Doesn't have to go absolutely everywhere, but what this is going to do is it's going to put enough adhesive to adhere this beautifully and much faster than trying to put the glue everywhere with your Tombow. A little bit more. So if you've never done this, silicone mats are fantastic. You need one. You need a silicone mat in your crafting room. Do we sell them? My wordy, we do. These are fantastic. Add them to your next order if you don't have one. I have several, and they are fantastic things. All right. So now I'm going to pop that to one side, and I'll just wipe it down later. And then I'm going to come back in here. Oh, there goes my die on the floor. I'm going to pop this here. Now I'm going to put it right down towards the bottom, which means it's not going to go all the way up. Can you see how much shorter it is? That 5.5 is this much shorter than our A4 cardstock size. All right, looking good. Isn't that just a pretty die? I just love it. So beautiful. And I haven't used it very much. I've only used it a couple of times. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting this line where this top of this die goes right into my cutting line there. And I'm just going to go a couple of times across there. And now it's exactly the right size. I mean, you wouldn't need to do very much to this at all to call this a finished card. You could just put a label on it and it would be done. Of course, we're going to not do that. We're going to add more things because we can. And now the question is, what? Do I add a vellum circle? Because that's really rather beautiful. And our lovely bits and pieces here, we could do that. Now I've got the yellow. I don't know whether I love the yellow. I've already got a leaf that I did earlier, so this one's cheating. This one I did ahead of time. It's actually left over from a class from the other day, and I thought, oh, I'll use that. So there we go. Those can go here. And I've managed to already drop one of my, wherever I've put my roses. Did they fall on the ground? What did they do? Oh, they're still on the plate from the machine. All right, so I've got these. I've got the yellow. Now we get to decide, do we want the yellow? Do we stick with the Calypso Coral? Because I think maybe this doesn't look quite right. Maybe I need a small flower in these colors. What do you guys think? Hello, Patricia. Nice to see you from New York. Hello. 4 a.m. Oh, my goodness. Why are you awake? Oh, you can't sleep? Well, maybe I can put you to sleep. How about that? Yeah, I agree. I agree. No yellow. I'm with you guys. So they'll go on another card, but I think I like it better without those. And I think maybe I need another leaf, but one isn't bad. I mean, we have got all the leaves and things coming up here. All right. So then we're going to need a label. So I can use one of these types of labels from the Something Fancy dies, or I could use the banner from the, well, I could use the Stylish Shapes banner, or I could also use the banner from the Fragrant Flowers. So that's this one. Let's have a look at that, which is very nice. So the two-tone floral set doesn't have any sentiments, but then it has the matching sentiments. So this one could go on here, and that would be really nice. That's from the Fragrant Flowers dies, these ones that we were talking about a little earlier. Okay, so, and we use those on Friday night too. Then I've got, just deciding which ones I like the best. Maybe I will go with this one because it's really nice. And then I've just got to decide which greeting I like. I mean, I don't think this card is right for a sympathy card, even though that is a really lovely sympathy set, or greeting, I should say, but it doesn't feel quite right. So I'm going to put that one aside. And I don't really want to use the thanks or the hello. I want something scripty scrolly. I don't want a great big greeting. So I'm thinking something different. I tell you one I have been using a lot, and you guys, if you were watching yesterday afternoon, you would have seen me using this. I love this one. This is beautiful. Wishing you joy in your next adventure. That's nice. I'm inspired by your courage. That's really nice. No, we're in this together. Maybe. And then I also love, there's some nice ones in here. You are a treasure. Hoping this year is full of adventure and excitement. What What kind of occasion should this card be for? What do you think, guys? Past 2 a.m. there, Gina? And you're feeling sleepy, I bet. I bet. Thanks for watching again. I agree, the yellow didn't work. Did not work at all. I agree, Judy. You are correct. All right. So I'm still looking for the best sentiment. And I have some beautiful sentiments, but I just want one that is going to work with this card. Is this a wedding card? Is this a birthday card? You're a treasure. We could do that. You are a treasure. It's going to be much smaller than our banner, but that wouldn't matter. All right, let me pull it out. You are a treasure. I haven't put this one on the block yet, so that means you just have to watch me put this together, which doesn't take very long, thankfully, because we do it the special way. We take the backing off and we lay it down facing the correct way on the piece of paper. Then we grab our matching sticker that says you are a treasure, and I'm going to take the dog-ear, the backs of that. Courtney was the one who showed me how to do the dog-ear bits. I was doing the other bits, but the dog-ear bits, that really blew my mind when I learned to do this. Then I pull the whole lot off. Okay, so now it's sticky. You can see it's sticking to my finger. And I'm going to pop it here on a block. And then I'm going to take the back off it. So now it's stuck to the block. Okay. If anyone hasn't seen, if you haven't seen this before, tell me you haven't seen it, because I love knowing that people are learning something. Then we're going to turn this over, just making sure that is the right way. Yep. And then we're going to line it up on the back of our stamp where we can see what we're doing. And now it is perfectly lined up and ready to go. We have a stamp that's put together. So let's put this, and I'm thinking, because I've got Evening Evergreen in the leaves here, and I'm thinking Evening Evergreen would be nice on this. So let's do this. So let's ink that up. Making sure I didn't press too hard. I don't think I did. Let's see how we go. Stamp it straight down. You are a treasure. And then we have our... Now I'm actually going to move it to one side because I'm going to be hiding some of it behind this end. So I'm actually going to move it so it's not quite centered. And let's grab our little machine again. Now, I didn't finish telling you, if you want the machine here in Australia, you spend $210. $210 will get you the machine and $315 worth of product. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's such a good deal, you're right. And if you want to go and join, you can do that on my blog. So at the top of my blog, I'll put the blog banner up on the screen in a moment. In fact, I'm going to do it now while I'm busy rolling this through. Give me a second. Let's put the banner up. There it is, lhiggins.blogspot.com. If you're in Australia and you think that joining special sounds amazing, it absolutely is. Go to the blog. Up the very top, you'll see a tab that across the top that says to join or join my team. And you can go in there and read more about it and see that it really is a real deal. And sometimes they say when a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I promise you, this is exactly what it says it is. There is no catch. It is just a really great deal. So after you've bought the kit, you get 20% off minimum all your orders. All right, so I'm liking this. So I'm going to put this guy on first. Put the one at the top. And I'm just going to use, come on, this one needs, the end of it might be clogged and I need to put a needle down in there or something like that to, right, so I'm going to pop that right there at the edge. And then this one is going to go on dimensionals. One and two, like that. If you're wondering how well the shimmer paper cuts with your cut and emboss machine, as you can see, it cuts beautifully. It's just stunning. All right, so it's going to go like this. All right, so behind here, or on top of here, I'm actually going to have this going in underneath here. So I'm actually going to chop this end off, shorten it a little bit. Like that. That's good. And so let's put some glue behind that. And then on the back here, we can put our dimensionals and hide them behind those bits and pieces that we've just stuck on the front. 3 or 4 is completely fine. And then we're going to make sure of our backs being off there, and we can stick it straight onto the card. And because it's on dimensionals, we can slide the leaf in where we want it when we're done. So right. So this one goes in wherever we like because it's on dimensionals, so there's room. Deciding where I would like that. I'm going to use glue dots for this one. So who has got, can I ask who's got this set, the Fancy Flora set? Anyone else got it? It was one of the ones I got first. Although I got, like I said before, something fancy I got before I got the flowers. I got the sentiments first. Right, so I'm deciding whether I want another leaf up the top. What do we think? Do we need another leaf up the top? Or even another one, maybe another one out to the side. So I've got plenty of paper left, so I'm going to do that. And put that on a block. And we'll do Evening Evergreen. And then I'm going to do it again without re-inking so I get a lighter colour. Although, because we've got the soft succulent in the background, we may need the darker colour to stand out. So we may need just the one. But I wanted to see what it will look like. Right, so here's our die. One of the reasons I like the little machine when I'm working to do videos is I really like the fact that it's so portable and light, and all I have to do is pop it on the desk and wind everything through, and it's much easier than dealing with the big one. Now the big one is still my favorite for doing lots and lots of cutting. I hope no one can hear my cat snoring, but he's snoring away on the floor. One of them is a big snorer. Guess which one is the snorer? Oh, I'm going to take the banner down. There we go. There we go. And let's see how this looks. And I'll cut the other one too while I'm here. I started watching a new show on Netflix today. I don't know if anyone has seen it. It's called Alaska Daily. Has anyone watched that? I really, really like it. It's got Hilary Swank in it. Really, really like it. You have plenty of two-step stamp sets. And then what Vicky said, you can never have too many. I agree, but you know, I'm biased, obviously. All right, so we have to decide, do I have another one? Will another one look good up here? I think it might. And then maybe a lighter colored one. Maybe this one here. Is that too many? Do we like this going up here? Maybe don't stick it out quite as much. Maybe have it a bit closer to, I'm going to chop it off so it doesn't stick out quite so much. And I'm going to pop a glue dot behind it so it will stay in there. And then this little guy here, I'm going to glue dot behind him, the lighter colour. You don't think you need the top one? Maybe not. Maybe I take it out, with or without. And of course we're going to need some bling. So I've got my iridescent pearls. You can see, sorry, iridescent pastel gems they're called. And you can see I use the, I've got one in the middle of this little flower. That's also in the set. And I've used the Calypso Coral ones. And I think I'd be tempted to do that again. And I'm just having a look how many I have. The gold would be nice too. But let's do a, and maybe like that. Without, with, without, with. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of Women at War. I haven't seen that one, Nairi. That's good to know. If you like shows on Alaska, then Alaska Daily is about a New York reporter that moves to Anchorage and is investigating a case. And I'm fascinated by it. I think it's great. I thought I took my banner down, but it's still there. There we go. Now it's gone. I think I did that wrong. Never mind. Anyway, what was the verdict in the end? Did we say with or without? Yes, sorry, I have taken the banner down now. That's good to know. Don't need the top one, says Ellen. Without, says Anita. With, says Nari. With, says Glenda. With, says Vicky. Destiny of Bonfire? Thanks, Jody, for the tip. I'm always looking for something good to watch. Oh, we have lots of people saying with and without. Ellen was first and she said we don't need it, so I'm going to take it off and save that one for another one. And I'm going to call that a finished card. Do we like it? How did it turn out in the end? I do really love that beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you know what I was thinking about? Would it look would it be overkill if I was to put a ribbon on? It might be overkill. We might not need it. Or maybe I only have one leaf and a ribbon. I don't know. I was going to add my pool party ribbon, even though pool party is not really featured in this. There's a little bit of blue in the background there that will kind of, it will still blend in. See, there we go. Let me put it on and we'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to, right, and then the next card, let's just do really quick and easy. Is it too much? No ribbon? It would be nice for a wedding card, I think. I agree. No ribbon, says Donna. Too much with the ribbon, says Anita. Okay, I'll keep that ribbon for another piece. Card is done. All right, so there's our first one. And then I am going to bring in, I know exactly what I want to do for the next card. All right, I've got here, oh, I saw, now was it Sharon Armstrong that I saw? I think it was. She made hearts out of her carrots. Did anyone see that? I thought, how clever is that? So she made small hearts out of the small carrot and big hearts out of the big carrot. Long, skinny hearts, but really, really cute. And I thought I might have a play with that over the next little while, even though I'm not really a Valentine's Day person. But I am a cat person. So I'm going to show you. I did a card. I did a card recently for my launch, which was this one. Some of you may have seen this one. It got posted on social media. And then I also did a second card, which has a blue background. Same paper. Okay, so I love this paper. This paper is really, really fun. Oh, did you want to see a couple of cards using the fancy flora paper that I've also made? Oh, look. And this is a card I'm half finished. I'm using that same piece, this same beautiful die. I used it as a stencil and rubbed my blending brush over it, and that turned out, that's really pretty. So you can do lots of things with that. This is all using that gorgeous paper. All right, this one, I think we made this one here on the live. Did I don't have a dimensional under there. There's what the problem is. Let's add one, shall we? Let's stick that under there. Then it will stop flopping around. There we go. That's better. Right, so these cards are all made with a beautiful paper. How nice is it? Oh, that's made with the die, and I just cut it down. Something a little different, and I thought that was nice for a sympathy card. And then this one, which was for a video tutorial that I'm part of this month. Then this one. Actually, that was the one I think we did live because we coloured in the ribbon, didn't we? And so you can see lots and lots of lovely cards that have been made with this same paper. It's just stunning. Just so beautiful. All right. Now, the card I want to do right now is actually using the Love Cats set. And I want to show you how you can get a nice solid stamp. Because this doesn't work so well when you just stamp it on paper. Okay, now it doesn't need a mat because it has foam as part of the stamp. That's already there. But when you stamp it, I'm using Memento Black. Doesn't really matter what color, but we're using black today. And if I stamp it, even though I've inked it up really, really well and stamped it really, really well, my stamp isn't very dark. Can you see that? I mean, it's okay, but it's not solid black. Not like I would want. So when you use a solid stamp like this, whether you're using rubber or photopolymer, whatever, that's where your Stamparatus will be able to help you. All right, so let's bring in the Stamparatus and I'll show you how I would set that up. So I don't need a mat with my Stamparatus today because I'm using the rubber stamp, which has the foam. If you're using photopolymer, yes, you will need a mat. All right. And what I want to do is I want to put my paper in, okay, and I want to get my stamp set up where I would like it to be. So I want it to be right here, and I'm going to be cutting it out. I'm going to pull my plate over. This has 2 plates, but I'm using one today. And then I'm going to, you can see it's, because I didn't clean it off properly, it's actually left a stamped image, but that's fine. But because this is pushed all the way into the corner and I'm going to ink this up now, I'm going to, just dropped Memento Black on my dress, but that's okay. Thankfully it has a print and no one will ever know. And it's water-based, so it will wash out. All right, so I'm inking it up. I'm going to stamp it. just realised too that I forgot before I started this to put my phone in Do Not Disturb. So I really hope I don't get a phone call while I'm doing this. And then I'm going to do it again. Now, every time I do this, it's going to give me a more black image. Can you start to see it's getting blacker now? I usually find about 3 applications is going to give me the right amount of solid black that I want. That's looking better. Now we've got a nice black pussycat. I'm going to take it out. I could put it back in if I decided I wanted to have it darker, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. Now it's looking nice and black. That's okay, Leslie. Never too late. You can always watch the replay. All right, so I'm happy with that, and I'm going to cut it out. And now we have this gorgeous Like an Animal paper. Has everyone seen it? It's in the catalogue, the new catalogue, and it's in Australia. It's $17.50. It's beautiful foiled paper, absolutely gorgeous. It is double-sided, but the foil is just on one side, and it's lovely. I just love it. I've been using it. I did one the other day. You might have seen, I think I posted it yesterday or the day before, where I've sponged blue over the top of it. It works really, really well with the blending brushes if you want to sponge a color over the top. Looks so nice. All right, so I'm just going to cut this out. All right. And then I've got a circle here that I cut, one I prepared earlier, and he's going to go on the circle. So I'm also going to grab the Like an Animal paper, because I just love this paper. So you've got all kinds of different animals. We've got fish, or this, some people have said it would be a snake. I prefer it to be a fish if that's okay with everyone. I don't like snakes, so it's a fish. And on the back we have the grey version of that. I think it really is meant to be a snake, but that's okay. I'm just pretending that that's not what it is. Then we have zebra, and it's all shiny. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, mermaid. That's a good idea. Yes, I like that, Ellen. That's a much nicer idea. You saw the heart carrots, Jodie. Aren't they nice? See, we've got grey zebra here on the back. We have crocodile, which is beautiful. And then on the back, we have the brown version of that. Giraffe. You may have seen me use these earlier in the month. And then we have, I think this looks like maybe cheetah. Cheetah or leopard? Cheetah, I think. I don't know. Is anyone an African animal expert? Because somebody might be able to help me here. And on the back, we have the neutral version of that. Aren't these lovely? And then I have a bit of that left. And in this pack, I have none left of the one that I wanted to use, which was the same as this one. But I have actually got another pack. But I'm actually going to pull this one out. I'm going to do it with that. And I think we should put this on a piece of black. I think that would work well. So let's grab our, so 2 totally different cards tonight, aren't they? Really different. So I'm going to make this my card front size, which is 14.3. This is Australian or metric card front size by 10 centimeters. And then I'm going to cut this one. Now I had Lani, if you're here tonight, asking about the measurements I did for the Favourite Flowers card I did the other night. And that is the same measurements as what I'm doing here. So it's 6.5 wide by 13.8. And that looks rather cute, doesn't it? Doesn't that look nice? And then, shall we do the back? No, I'm actually going to not do a second piece. I'm just going to have this piece right here. I do like the foil. I think the foil is gorgeous. So this is a pretty quick and simple card tonight. Do you know what? I wasn't sure about the carrots either, Jody, but that card that I did a couple of weeks ago with the carrots, and I did use it as carrots, I really, really liked that card. I liked it way more than I thought I would. All right, so what color shall we put behind here? I'm deciding. We want to have a color behind here. Do you know what? I've got this, I've got this Pill Party ribbon. Let's use it. And I'm going to use Pill Party behind my piece because I've got the ribbon already cut. And I'm just going to grab a Pill Party brush. So this one's been used for Pill Party in the past, so I'm just using that one again. Did you guys see that we have storage for these now in the mini catalog? Storage for your blending brushes. I have, quite obviously, I don't have any yet, but I do have all my blending brushes in a drawer. And as I get more and more of them, I'm thinking some storage makes sense because then I'll be able to grab the one I want straight away rather than scrabbling around in the drawer for it. All right, so I'm just doing the center of this piece with my Pill Party ink. And when I put this on, I want there to be a little bit more color coming out from behind. So I'm going to do a little bit more. So I'm going to make my circles a bit bigger. It would look nice with a vellum circle too, of course. All right, so it's getting better. The color's starting to come out of there. All right, I'm going to pop a couple of these of dimensionals behind here. So 1, 2, 3 behind. And then there's some cute sentiments in this set. I like the one that says, I love hanging out with you. If you're a Valentine's kind of person, you could certainly have the one that says, Hi Valentine. It's a cute set though, don't you think? Such a cute set. Now, something I do want to do is he's got a little heart there. Can you see that? And I think I'd like to color the heart in. So I'm going to color it in red. You can color it whatever color you like. But I think red would work well. There we go. And I'll add a couple more dimensionals behind here. And I was thinking if I wanted a lighter card instead of the black behind, Pill Party would have been a good color to work with, but I didn't think of the ribbon until I was... All right, so I'm going to pop that on with glue dots, and then we're going to need a sentiment. Just like that. Coming together, and I'm thinking, what sentiment shall I have and which ones? I think I'll go with stitch shapes because they just go with everything. Stitch shapes. Did I put my stitch shapes away? I must have. Stylish shapes is what I'm trying to say, not stitch shapes. Goodness me. So the words in here that say, I love hanging out with you, that's really cute. Or there's Hi There Valentine, which is appropriate if you're... I'm not really a Valentine's card person. That was just something that I never really saw anything of when I was growing up. But If you like that idea, then go for it, if that's the one that you like. The other ones are Head Over Heels, About You, and I Love Hanging Out With You, which is the one I really like. And I am wondering how that's going to look in this little banner. So let's have a look and see if it fits nicely. Let's grab it. And because it's words, you will find that you don't need to use the Stamper Artist to get the images solid. It'll work out pretty well. It's only when you have a lot more solid stamp like this one, like the cat, that it's more of an issue. Here we go. And Head Over Heels, In Love With You actually goes really well with this little guy. He looks like he's doing some sort of somersault. I Love Hanging Out With You. He's going to fit. Okay. It only just fits, but it does fit. Trying to get myself a little bit cleaned up here because I've got a big mess. I've got stuff everywhere. Let's pop this here, line it up, and pop the other plate on top. Wind it through. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tina. How are you going over in Europe? I cannot believe that I'm going to be over there in less than 4 months. We've got the Norway incentive trip coming up this year with Stampin' Up, and I'm very excited to be going on that this year. You know what? Now I've got this on here, I'm going to move my ribbon because I think it will look better. I probably should have waited to put my ribbon on at the end because sometimes the positioning, you don't know exactly where it should go until you put all your pieces on. And I want to have this one going over the edge of the black because it'll stand out more. Which means that then the ribbon is better off here to this side. Like that. And I think also I will chop this ribbon ever so slightly shorter right here. That's better. All right, and then it goes on to a white card base, which is somewhere. And I'm going to call it a finished card as soon as it's on that white card base, and I will post it over the next couple of days and you'll get to see the finished card. But, oh, we need a bling, don't we? Do we need bling? Yeah, I don't ink the edges if I have a stitched edge. I actually don't like it. That's just a personal thing, Jody. I'm going to go with the gold ones. I'm going to have one gold one here. And one here. And just one up there. And this is going to be on a white card base. And I think it's going to look really nice. And we've made 2 cards. What do you think? I've got an incredible mess here tonight. I don't know. Some nights I just seem to be messier than others. But I do like the finished cards. I think it turned out really nice. This will be lovely when I put it on its white base. And this one turned out really beautiful as well, even though I had no idea what I was going to do with it before we started. But hey, that's all right. How did we go tonight? Do you like them? I really like them too. I think they turned out really nice. Totally different. Really, really different cards, but I think they worked out so well. Oh, I did answer your question well enough, Katrina. It really is personal preference whether you prefer photopolymer or rubber stamps. But having said that, it doesn't make a lot of difference unless you're needing to line them up. Then you're definitely going to be better off with the photopolymer ones. Once upon a time we had wooden stamps. I used to love those because, once again, I think it made me think of my childhood. But I do think that having them in DVD cases now, whether they're photopolymer or rubber, means it's so much easier to store. We have so much more room for stamps than we used to once upon a time. So there we go. All right. Well, thank you. I've got a cat coming to meow at me and ask me why I haven't fed him dinner yet. They're meant to be fed at 8 o'clock, and that didn't happen. But I hope that you guys have a great week. If you're in the team, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Last Monday we did we made a card together. I don't know that we're doing that this time, but I'm looking forward to seeing you all anyway. Everybody else, I'll see you Friday night. Back for some more crafting. If you have any requests or questions that you would like answered during the live, please do. Oh, whoops, one more thing. Did everyone, if you missed it yesterday, okay, here are the cards we made yesterday. I need to show them to you, okay, because you can get the tutorials for these if you don't have them already. These are up on the public video right now, okay. Yeah, so that's what we were making yesterday, diorama cards. And then the videos, you'll either get them because you ordered last month, but if you didn't, you can purchase them. It's only 15 Australian dollars, and you'll get videos and measurements, step-by-step everything for these cards. So there's this one, which is with the layering diorama dies, the little adorable owls with the aspen forest, the from the On the Ocean set with the By the Bay paper, which is a shadow box card, and then a little pop-up diorama. This is actually an idea not mine. This is an idea I got from Julie Davidson, who's over in the US, and she did a beautiful, beautiful pop-up diorama card, and I've recreated her card with some current bits and pieces. When you open it, you can see it kind of pops up. There you go. There's our little pop-up diorama just there. Super simple, but the tutorials for all of these and the measurements are in those additional resources. They are 15 Australian dollars. If you're in the US, that's about 10 bucks. So it's very reasonable, and I hope that that if you love these, that you'll purchase the tutorials. How do you purchase the tutorials? You head to my blog. And you can do that either by following the link in the description below. As soon as this video is finished, I'll do all. I've got it there on the screen right now, www.lhiggins.blogspot.com, and you will see that there is you go to the most recent blog post, there is a button there to purchase them, and you pay by PayPal, and all very easy, and it gets sent to you automatically. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.